Hello there, welcome to the weekly web news roundup with our pick of the stories making the online headlines. Coming up on today's show, the booming market of online alternative funding. The biggest stories from the past 7 days. And the video of the week. Crowdfunding has really taken off in Europe. A recent study in the UK showed the volume of money collected is growing year on year. And although the Brits largely dominate the market, France finds itself in second position this year, with successful platforms like KissKissBankBank, My Major Company, and Europe's leading crowdfunding site, Ulule. The principle is simple. They're there to help get all manner of projects off the ground by collecting donations from web users. It's a key component of collaborative economy. People want more nowadays. They don't just want to consume, they want to participate. Wikipedia is a good example. People taking the time to create knowledge. The same goes for GitHub, geared towards computer programming. People create code and develop software as open source projects. This is the same sort of idea. People contribute to projects and don't expect anything back in return. It's a new type of collaboration. Employees from Nice Matin were able to save the local newspaper after launching a crowdfunding campaign in 2014 and reaching their €300,000 target. Then there was a fundraiser started by the Musée d'Orsay to cover the costs of restoring a painting by Gustave Courbet. €150,000 was donated in just 80 days, 517% more than the amount required. The success of these campaigns is all down to winning over web users. There are three things that need to be explained to web users to get them on board. First of all, you need to present the project. Secondly, you need to clearly outline what their money will be spent on. And thirdly, the person behind the project needs to introduce themselves and tell people why they embarked on such a venture, why it's so important to them. It's important to give it a face. The person is just as important as the project and the logistics and team behind it. So transparency is important when promoting a project, and so is thinking outside the box. French clothing line Slip Français is a good example. Its quirky and effective advertising was definitely a winner.
This is why I need your help, even if it means going across the world. But
in this video clip launched on the world's leading crowdfunding site, Kickstarter, the company is clearly stating its intention to set up shop in the United States. For these young French entrepreneurs, this type of operation helps them make a name for themselves and create a following, a network online. We harnessed two trends, the made in France aspect, which is really important, and then the social networking side. We have a great following, 50,000 on Facebook, 10,000 on Twitter, and 7,000 on Instagram. We launched 3 crowdfunding campaigns, one after the other. It creates a buzz, it's really trendy, it's shared by loads of people. It's fantastic publicity when you're starting out. Along the same lines, we have crowd lending, where individuals lend money to companies via online platforms. It's a promising business and accounts for half of the €154 million raised in France in 2014. The market extends its activities to funding businesses, whether they're startups looking for capital or more established companies, small to medium-sized businesses looking for loans or funding from the general public. It's an alternative means of funding. It's not replacing the banking system. It's often in addition to, and gives these companies a second option when it comes to financing.
Et donc à ces entreprises d'avoir quelque part une deuxième forme de financement accessible.
And then there's the latest addition to the crowdfunding world, equity crowdfunding, where individuals can invest capital in a company directly. All these initiatives are clever ways of dealing with the economic crisis. I mean, companies can get the funding they need fast, and members of the public can get involved in new projects in just a few clicks. And the trend is showing no signs of waning, with experts saying that the crowdfunding market is set to double over the coming year. Emotions are running high online, with Russian web users mourning slain opposition leader and outspoken critic of Vladimir Putin, Boris Nemtsov. He was shot dead late Friday evening, not far from the Kremlin, and his murder has sparked widespread commentary across the country, with many taking to the outrage and grief. There are all manner of posts on social networks with Russians expressing their shock over Boris Nemtsov's death and expressing their condolences to his family and friends. Many are posting under the Nemtsov or I am Nemtsov hashtags to pay their respects to the opposition leader and to show others that he will never be forgotten. There are also a growing number of messages praising Boris Nemtsov for his bravery and tireless campaigning for freedom of expression in Russia. Some social networkers are vowing to uncover the circumstances surrounding his death, saying they will not give up until they find out the truth and until justice has been done. Political leaders from across the globe were also keen to shed as much light as possible on this case. Representatives for the French, US, Canadian, British, Bulgarian and also German governments have taken to Twitter to condemn the murder of Boris Nemtsov and urge the Russian authorities to launch an immediate inquiry to identify those responsible. These images have gone viral since appearing on Facebook Sunday, March the 1st. The amateur video footage, which has racked up over 4 million views, shows a violent altercation between a homeless man and several police officers on Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. During the scuffle, the man, known locally as Africa, was wrestled to the ground, and at some point, reportedly, there was a struggle over one of the officers' weapons. It was at this point the officers resorted to deadly force, and Africa was shot dead. The incident has sparked lively commentary online. Americans have taken to social networks in their droves, voicing their outrage over what they see as yet another case of police brutality. Many have been posting under the Skid Row or LAPD shooting hashtags, challenging the official version of events proffered by the police involved in the shooting of the homeless man, saying it seems quite obvious they used excessive force. There has been widespread criticism and strong condemnation of the Los Angeles Police Department, and web users have also been using the "they called him Africa" keywords, paying tribute to Sunday's victim and urging their fellow citizens to do the same. And a group of activists held a vigil in downtown Los Angeles on Sunday night. Several dozen people gathered to pay their respects and to demand answers from local authorities, calling for a prompt and full investigation into the LAPD's fatal shooting of a homeless man. Egyptians have been mocking the Islamic State terror group by taking their jihadi song known as a nasheed, in which they use in most of their propaganda videos, and turning their anthem into a joke. That's right, the song that IS used to accompany beheadings, bombings and burnings is being remixed and used as background music by a growing number of web users in Egypt who are filming themselves dancing along to the song and sharing the video online. It's a way of mocking the extremist Islamist organisation and showing the terrorists that the people of Egypt do not fear them. This isn't the first time Egyptians have taken to the web to make fun of the Islamic State extremists. A video parodying a washing detergent commercial was posted online back in September 2014. The video, which proved hugely popular, promoted a product which works wonders in removing bloodstains from clothes. The product's called Daesh, which sounds close to Daesh, an Arabic acronym for Islamic State, which in turn sounds like the verb that means to scrub. And while some have been busy making videos to ridicule the Islamic State extremist group, others have turned to Twitter, posting under the "I'm going to join Daesh" keywords. The hashtag has since gone viral, with hundreds of web users giving sarcastic reasons for going to fight alongside the terrorists. This social networker, for example, says he's planning to join IS so he will never have to drink his wife's awful coffee again. Again, the aim of these posts is to show the jihadist group that Egyptians are not afraid of them. Digger isn't your average cat. She can skateboard. And in this video, we see our feline friend showcasing some pretty impressive moves and tricks. You can see more of Digger in action on the GoPro YouTube channel.